The next two articles are really looking at APRA and their crackdown on investment lending. And the first article is through Domain, and they're talking to the point that the fact that there's been a significant drop-off in construction pipelines. So there's lots of cranes in the sky at the moment, but according to the Bureau of Statistics, what's following on from this glut that we're sort of seeing hit the market now is minimal development happening. And the argument that they're putting forward is that developers are actually waiting to see APRA remove some of these restrictions so they know they've got buyers for property that's going to come on the market. So, I mean, my thought with this one is really, I think developers are waiting to see what happens over the next 6 to 12 months when we see a lot of properties come onto the market. And I think they would like to see the market absorb a lot of the stock before they actually go and add to that. They want to get maximum bang for their buck. So the argument to think that developers are waiting for APRA to change rules, I probably don't necessarily agree with that, but I certainly think they're waiting to clear some stock to have high demand again for property of that style.
Yeah, but I think, you know, they may reduce their caps. They may reduce this 10% cap they've got on growth because it's irrelevant now, and they may take away the cap on the interest-only lending because it's running at about 15%, lowest it has in a long time. So that will become irrelevant. But the things that aren't going to change overnight is the tighter lending policies, and we're seeing with the Banking Royal Commission, a lot of the stuff that's happening at the moment is the banks are actually getting tighter. As brokers, the information and the amount of information that we're getting asked now on a file is 10 times what it was 18 months ago. The level of detail is unbelievable. You know, for a 20 grand cash out, they're looking for evidence of what you're using the money for, where, you know, we used to be able to get 300,000 or 400,000 future investment purposes, no worries. So it's, yeah, that is the thing that's not going to change very quickly, is more the borrowing guidelines.
Thanks, Ross. You've led me right into my next article, which is APRA hints credit easing for investors sooner rather than later. And basically, it's an article that outlines the fact that APRA has actually gone to the House of Representatives and they've told them that Australia's in a position now to remove some of the speed bumps that they put in place to control investment lending. So what he had said was, the APRA chairman, Wayne Breeze, said the 10% investment growth benchmark imposed on lenders in December 2014 is becoming redundant. And he's basically just what Ross had said. The fact that the lending has tightened up so much and there's so much stricter lending controls, and there's the new credit control coming in the next few months as well, they're comfortable now that lenders are better prepared to lend, so they can lift some of these caps. While it won't free up, you know, more lending to investors in terms of credit loosening, what it will do is it will mean that lenders have a certain pool of funds that they want to lend. At the moment, they're capped at how much of that can go towards the investment side of their growth of their book. So they're restricted in how much of this pool of money can go to investors. What this will do is it will free it up so it's a fair game again. Banks have plenty of money and they want to lend. So this will actually free them up, and we won't see instances like we saw last year where Suncorp got to the 30th of the month and didn't settle a deal because it was going to push them over a cap. You had to wait till the next month to settle it. So what you will see, hopefully, is some better pricing. What you will see, hopefully, is a little bit looser, in terms of them trying to split that pool of funds that they've got to lend. So that was interesting.